Today, we're tackling a hot topic: why Jon Snow, a supposed Targaryen, is such a biatch when it comes to fire. And how does his crispy hand prove Dany might be more special than we think? We've got text from a Game of Thrones and a Dance with Dragons, sci-fi twist and genetic puzzle, as well as a wild double dose of dragon DNA with Tyrion and Varys that could ignite everything you know. Let's start with Jon Snow, our brooding hero from Game of Thrones. In Jon 7, he's fighting a wight. You know, typical day at the wall. He rips some drapes, smashes a lamp, flames everywhere. He grabs the burning cloth and whips it at the wight, praying, "Gods, please let it burn." But in Jon 8, we learn, quote, he had burned himself more badly than he knew. His cracked red skin oozed fluid, and fearsome blood blisters rose between his fingers, big as roaches. His hands are now wrapped in silk, oozing, blistered, gross stuff. Maester Aemon pumps him full of milk of the poppy. But Jon's still writhing in pain, dunking his hand in snow for relief. And this isn't a one-off. Across a Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords, and a Dance with Dragons, Jon's flexing that scarred hand, wincing, reminding us fire hurts him badly. Even in Jon 12 of Dance, he's running his burned hand through his hair, still feeling it. Jon's no firebender. He's fire vulnerable, and George's text continually hammers that home. Now, let's flip to Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons. Book nerds love to say she's not fireproof, but is she? In A Dance with Dragons, she recalls Drogo's Pyre. The fire burned away my hair, but elsewise it did not touch me. Same deal in Daznak's pit. She's surrounded by Drogon's flames, yet walks away mostly fine. Her hair's gone, her hands are messed up, but her skin largely unscathed. Compare that to Jon's roach-sized blisters. Okay, hold up. Her hands are raw and blistered at the end of Dance. Here's the twist. I'm arguing that's not from the fire. Think about it. She's been whipping Drogon, fighting to control him. Think back to Sam's archery blisters in A Feast for Crows. Same vibe. Fire didn't do that, friction did. Meanwhile, in House of the Undying, vision or not, she's untouched by the flames. 3 fiery events, minimal damage. Dany's not just lucky, she's built differently. Again, what she thinks about Daznak's pit, and what she thinks about Drogo's pyre, she thinks, it did not touch me. But wait, George R. R. Martin said in 1998, Targaryens aren't fire immune. Here's the quote. Some fans are reading too much into the scene in A Game of Thrones where the dragons are born, which is to say, it was never the case that all Targaryens are immune to all fire at all times. Those fans take this, plus the idea that Dany only survives thanks to blood magic rituals, and they call it case closed. But hold on, doesn't that beg a question? Is it ever the case that some special Targaryens, like Dany, are 100% fireproof? Martin's statement doesn't rule it out. It's not all Targaryens, sure. But what about one? Dany survives 3 fiery events: Fire, Daznak's pit, and the House of the Undying. In the pit, Sir Barristan and the Green Grace say she's burning, but it's just her hair and her hands taking the hit. Body, fine. What if there's no fantasy-styled blood magic here? Just magic in the blood.
And I still think I have a science fiction mindset. I have a rationalist mindset that always balks a little at magic. I prefer, as a reader, I prefer low magic fantasies to high magic fantasies. These are not quite accurate for my dragons. These are not my dragons, because my dragons only have 2 legs. They don't have front legs. Other dragons, by fantasy writers, have 4 legs and wings. I just have 2 legs and wings.
Why?
Because it's more scientifically accurate. There's no animal on Earth that has 4 legs plus wings. Nobody has that sort of thing. So even though it's fantasy, I tried too much of a science fiction guy. I want to make it accurate here.
Remember Jacob's old theory? We're talking a genetic trait, a dragon gene on the X chromosome. And if R plus L equals J, Rhaegar plus Lyanna equals Jon, then Jon's burned hand is yet another clue screaming at us. Think about it. Rhaegar Targaryen could pass a single X to his daughters, giving them half of the fireproof formula. But sons, stuck with his Y chromosome, No possibility of double Dragon X gene amplification. Jon may ride dragons if his mother passes him a special gene, but definitely no fireproofing and no hatching eggs. Jon burns, Dany doesn't. Sci-fi, not sorcery. This is where Stephen King comes in the 1980s. In Firestarter, Charlie's fire powers come from both parents' genes amplifying each other. What if Dany's double X chromosome from her special lineage? I'm crazily leaning toward one special X from Ashara Dayne and a second one from Brandon Stark, and this makes her a fireproof egg hatching powerhouse. Jon, with his XY setup, misses out. Martin's all about rational underpinnings. He said it himself many times. Check out my Stolen White Sword video for all the actual audio clips. This fits his style. Low magic, sure, but grounded in bloodlines and with a sci-fi explanation. Now, Dany's prophecy mentions 3 fires. She's got 2 down. Drogo's Pyre and Daznak's Pit. Number 3, I'm betting on Vaes Dothrak. Imagine her walking through the flames again, proving she's not a fluke. This challenges the A Song of Ice and Fire groupthink that she's not fireproof. But Jon's scars scream vulnerability, Dany's survival screams power, maybe coded right into her DNA. Now let's crank up the heat with Tyrion and Varys, because Dany might not be the only one with double Dragon X DNA. Varys, experts think he's a Blackfyre, Targaryen offshoot. He shaves his head, sound familiar? Like him duck an egg, hiding that telltale silver hair. If he's got Klinefelter syndrome rather than an actual physical mutilation, and has the corresponding XXY chromosomes, that extra X could carry a second dragon gene. In the TV show, Dany torches him for disloyalty and he's crisp. But in the books, imagine Winds of Winter or Dream of Spring, dragonfire roars, and Varys walks out, bald head gleaming, double Dragon X Blackfyre blood keeping him alive. Tyrion is just as wild. He's a genetic chimera, potentially XXXY, like we broke down in our Jeopardy-proof Tyrion has 2 dads video. One of these X's could, theoretically, come from the Mad King Aerys, who had a known thing with Tyrion's mom, Joanna. Tyrion's genetics complicated, so he could have X-chromosome genes descended from either Rowan Weber or one of the Mar brands. Tywin saying, "You're no son of mine," isn't just shade, it's a clue.
The whole way from Dorne, all anyone talked about was the monster that had been born to Tywin Lannister. A head twice the size of his body, a tail between his legs, claws, one red eye. The privates of both a girl and a boy.
That would have made things so much easier.
It might not be that Tywin is not one of his dads, just that Tyrion is his daughter, not his son. Thinking about it hurts the head. Unlike Jon's crispy hand, Tyrion could face fire and smirk. Maybe that's why he's obsessed with dragons all through game and dam. Together, they're a wildfire duo. Varys with his XXY Blackfyre edge, Tyrion with his XXXY twist. Both potentially fireproof. Imagine them facing Dany's wrath, or joining her, and proving the dragon genes runs deeper than we thought. Could their hidden heat steal the endgame? Do some quick research about what we hear about Tyrion and making fires as early as Game of Thrones. I'll link all the mentioned vids in the pinned comment. There's actually a ton of text evidence there. So, what do you think? Is Dany a genetic marvel or just a queen with plot armor? Are Tyrion and Varys secret fireproof dragons in disguise? The text leans one way, but I want to hear what your take is. Drop it in the comments. If you like this somewhat different change up in style, smash the like button, subscribe, and check out my video on the Stolen White Sword for a ton of George's actual audio, or my Ashara Dayne parents revealed, facing one of the Dragon X genes. Until next time, stay hungry and, especially, watch out for flaming drapes from the shoulders of giants.